Hey guys, it's me, EODGamer here, and in this video we're going to be talking about Memory of Chaos 11 and 12. I know some of you are struggling with it, and this video is not trying to tell you, oh, it's so easy, even I, free-to-play, can clear it. I just want to do a quick disclaimer. I'm not free-to-play by any means, and I took a lot of effort to clear this. But I'm going to be sharing with you my tips and tricks, which I spent quite a number of hours trying to figure out how to be more efficient. So if you guys are interested in that and are okay with the disclaimer, let's get into it. So first things first, let's touch on the Memory of Chaos 11. Now this is not the team I actually use my mobile phone to clear. I have the teams right here on my phone, but I'll be sharing with you real quick what I use exactly to clear. One of the major things that you need to know about Memory of Chaos 11 and 12 is you want to maximize the cycle. This is not a game where you can already just slap in your team waifu T-pass bundle and clear. You have to deviate a little bit towards meta teams to output the most amount of damage as possible. I'll talk about some other things that you want to consider if you find yourself like missing a couple of turns. But first things first, let me just share with you my team. So for this half, let me just scroll through. I actually built and used Imbibitor Lune for the first time. For those of you who know me, I hardly play this character, but you have to return to meta once you see it. This is the team I use, and as well as Runmei and Water in the first half. So why am I playing with this and what are the options? You need to have the weakness breaking ability so that you can proc this ability here. Whenever your allies break enemy weaknesses or attacks weakness broken enemy, you add one of the extra hits that the explosion has. This one deals a lot of damage. Like if you can get it to pop off on one single boss at 10 stacks, I think it's like 350k damage or something like that. Very, very massive. So this unit is weak. They are all weak to lightning, weak to imaginary. So that's why I put Kafka here, a bit for AoE damage for the breaking. Imbibitor Lune is, of course, is just to do more imaginary damage. My Imbibitor Lune is like very, very weak. So I could easily, if you had a very, very stacked Imbibitor Lune, you could get away with something like this and even slapping a Serval here so you can do a lot of lightning break damage. You might not even need Runmei. If you have a very, very well built Tingyun, you can go something like that. I think it will work really well. And the last slot, you just need some sort of healer. I choose Luota because he's my best build and he also does imaginary damage in an AoE. So I think you can consider something like that. In my opinion, I think Imbibitor Lune is super critical, super critical here. If not, you will probably be running a character like Lightning DPS that does a lot of damage. Maybe Tingyuan. If you have Tingyuan at a very, very well built character, I think he could work super well here too. But you have to play proper typing. So this is an example. I will just rewind and put back the team that I am using so that it's more clear. By no means is this free to play. I'm using everything is like 5-star characters, so I'm not trying to mislead you guys to thinking I'm a free to play player or anything. Next up, for this half, what you want to play here for Memory of Chaos 11 is typing weaknesses also. I think Jingliu is like super good here because ice, everything is weak to ice, and fire is also super good here. So I actually brought in Himiko, a character who is like supposed to be like off meta and stuff like that, but I find she works super well here. A lot of fire AoE damage to kill off the small ads that the IPC guy summons. So very, very strong here. And I bring in Pella too for a bit more AoE. Shred works well with Jingliu, works well with Himiko for the AoE defense down. And last but not least, I have my sustain, which is Fucc. So for the first time in my Memory of Chaos life, I did not bring in my E6 Zealer. So I'm playing with like practically E0 5-star characters, more or less. With the only exception, I think it's Luota and Runmei. These two are E1, and the rest of them are all E0. These two with like their signature light cone, the rest of them with not. Or these three with their signature light cone. So that's the gear that I have. They're not even very maxed out. Let me just go into the screen and show you their gearing. One thing that you can do is definitely invest more in your characters. You want to take up their tracers. If you look at my Imbibitor Lune here, he's like 5, 8, 8, 9. I could easily have taken him to like much better gear. His relics are also absolutely trash. I'm not even like running a 4-piece. And you see here like crit rate 94%, 147. It's like absolutely bad. Can be a lot better. My Himiko is also like not super well built, 80, 107 with tracers like 4777. So if I push on further and gear them better, I think they will do a lot more fantastic for my team. And of course, even Runmei, my tracers here, I don't even have these peripheral unlocks. I just like went in to go and bang my head against the Memory of Chaos first because you need the new boss mats. I haven't done that yet. And yeah, Jingliu and Blade, pretty decent, but can be better for him, for sure. But that is the build that I'm running for Memory of Chaos 11. Now,
enter
Memory of Chaos 12, in my opinion, is slightly easier than Memory of Chaos 11. The reason is because 11 forces you to play certain typings, like you really need Lightning and Lightning physical or imaginary for this half, and this one kind of like forces you to run a certain set amount of elements. Whereas Floor 12, on the other hand, and this is not my team again, I cleared it on mobile, Floor 12 is a lot easier to manage because Kafka actually is quite an easy boss, especially if you have Blade on your team. Blade counters Kafka. Funny how that sounds. And this one's also not too hard because most of us will have Jingliu, or if you don't have Jingliu, you probably have Pella build, which is a very good 4-star alternative. Let me just share with you my team comps for this one here. This is not the team. Let me bring this up. None of these. So I used Jingliu for... Oh, I'm surprised. I'm now looking at my mobile phone. I actually used Jingliu for the first half instead of the second half, even though this one says it's like more weak to ice. One of the reasons I did that is because this bug here is weak to quantum, and the spawns that he summons on the side are all weak to quantum and imaginary. So ice is not good on the additions when he summons them, and you want to break the additions later on, but I'll talk about that in a bit. I played Jingliu here because of the 2 side mobs here, to get rid of them as soon as possible. The main boss, I actually played with Blade. So Blade is like my main DPS in this stage, dealing with all the problems. I combo with this. This is like one of the best teams in my opinion in the game. And the last slot I have Runmei. This team cleared pretty fast. Like it was within 3 turns, 3 or 4 turns they managed to clear. So out of 10 turns, they only took like 3 turns or something. So bought a lot of time for my second floor. This I think is one of the best teams right now in the game. Of course, it's very expensive. You can swap Runmei out for a character like Bronya if you don't want to. But Runmei does nice damage and adds on quite a bit of damage to the whole team for a double DPS roster. That's my first half. So Ice to tackle the adds that are summoned, Wind to target all of them, Imaginary to target all of them, as well as Runmei adding more break damage to the team, extending their break weaknesses. You could also get around with not playing a character like Jingliu. If you have a character like Imbibitor Lune here, will be very good, but my Imbibitor Lune, I'm not very confident of playing him to a higher level. And of course, if your Runmei here you don't have, you can easily swap out maybe for more of a buffing character, like maybe Tingyun, or even like a character like Yukong or something. If you can manage your skill points properly, I think that would be pretty interesting. But a team like that will be quite solid. So Husbando carries. But let me just put back the team that I used here. In the second half, what did I use? So we know that Quantum was going to be a bit of a good one already because all the ads here all have Quantum. Imaginary, I don't feel it was like super good in the second half because they don't have like these bosses are not weak to Imaginary at all, so I'll struggle. So what I decided to do is I went with Zila, who is my E6 character. So she deals already a lot of damage to help me bridge a lot of the gaps, and at the same time I wanted to break this person very quickly. I could have run Pella, but I didn't. What I did is actually I ran Kafka to tackle this boss a little bit more. But in hindsight, maybe Pella would have been like much better than Kafka, so I can get at least a bit more shred on the enemies. And then I just ran double sustain here. So honestly, the second half, because my first half was very fast, I didn't optimize my second half. I managed to clear it in like 7 turns exactly or something. But this can definitely be improved. This is super inefficient because I'm running 2 sustain here. What I would have liked, maybe I would play probably something like this. And then I will swap Fucc out for a character like... Because Fucc is not super good against the Swarm Disaster. And you want some like healing, sustain, cleanse throughout the whole team. I think Ho Ho will be better for here. So I'm looking at a character like this. And maybe an ice character here. For example, if I bring Jingliu down. And I put Imbibitor Lune here. Might have worked a little bit better. Because I target the weaknesses better. Might even clear it quicker. But a 20 turn clear left is good enough. And that is my thoughts for this cycle here. If any of you are struggling, want specific help for your account, let me know in the comments below as well. I share with you my thoughts on which characters I think are much better now than before, and what are the differences I tried and used as well. Let's just give a quick shout out to some characters that I built and tried a little bit. I put in Serval for lightning weaknesses, super good. Other characters that I think was really good, of course Tingyun is still really good. Sherry I think can be really strong to fill in any weakness gaps that you have in your overall team. So these characters are stuff that do a lot better. If you don't have Blade, I think Sampo could work also to address wind weaknesses because you want to focus on breaking wind weaknesses. Argenti is strong in floor 11. Floor 12 is like so-so. Imbibitor Lune is super good. Jingliu super good. Zila not so good. Blade super good. Runmei super good. And yeah, pretty much that's my thought. I think Kafka is still okay. More in 11 than 12. So yeah, those are my thoughts. And if you guys appreciate such content, leave a like, comment, subscribe for more such future videos. And thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.